Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is an absolutely beautiful looking Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 EX diesel. You can see here, finished in white, manual car, but this one has the Honda exterior styling pack, which looks absolutely lovely on the car. So you get the little chrome or plastic white silver trim down there, one on the back, and this one also gets side steps as well. It's a very handsome car. Front of the car really clean, lights and lenses clear and intact. Front bumper very clean, as is the bonnet of the car. Hardly exhibits a stench of any great note on there at all. Near side of the vehicle, passenger side, and it's mirror smooth in the panel works. Also, by the way, got door protectors fitted as well, as you can see. Near side front alloy, the one takes all the bashing, and there's nothing on there of any note at all. I'm going downside, so I'll try to park in the shade as best I can because it actually shows up any blemishes better. It's a lovely sunny day, but not great for videos. Near side rear alloy, again completely unmarked. And coming around the back of the car, again bumper corners really clean, and there again you can see the silver trim down at the bottom of the bumper there. All very subtle but works wonderfully well, really aesthetically pleasing on these cars. Then offside, driver's side, absolutely mirror smooth on the panels there. Offside rear alloy, again very good indeed. And remaining panel work is absolutely fantastic. It really is in beautiful condition. For a car that's on 81,000 miles, you'd never believe it, because it looks like it's in the condition of a car that's done half the mileage this one has done. Let's come into the boot area now. All very clean and tidy. And huge boots on these CR-Vs as well. Sorry, the sun's glaring terribly. This is just a load liner, basically just to protect the carpeted areas underneath, which are in absolutely lovely condition. It's coming to the back of the car now. Big wide opening rear doors, and leatherwork is in really excellent condition, and that's not always the case with the CR-Vs. They're beautifully made, but they are essentially for ferrying kids about, and that can lead to them being in quite an untidy condition, but this has been kept very well. Front passenger door card, again as with all the others, actually in lovely condition. Front seat on the passenger side here, again been given minimal use. Finally come to the driver's door card, again really clean and tidy. Footwell area is all very good. And the driver's seat, the one that takes all the bashing, and yet in reality it looks like it's been used much at all, just the normal amount of wear, but certainly far less than you'd expect on this mileage car. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so dashboard can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely pristine, looks virtually as new. Sat nav, you can see they're working perfectly, as is the climate control system. Heated seats all checked and good. Just kept so well. Come to the dashboard there, hopefully you can see 81,559 miles, and the only warning lights relating to the information light there is for the low fuel currently on the car. There are no warning lights on this car at all, but it really is in absolutely lovely condition in here. So finally, just to quickly show you owner's manual pack, and very importantly lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel, and it's the manual car. This particular car is registered EY13ULG, and mileage at the start of the road test is 81,553 miles. The reason we do these videos is very simple. We just want to make sure that if someone's looking at this car in an advert online, they actually get to see that very car in operation. The reason it's important is because we know to our costs just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the photographs provided and in the description, only to get there to find out it's got a fundamental issue which shows up clearly whilst test driving the car. So that's why we do it, so we can feedback anything to you before you come to us, as rare as it might be. The road test is also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on, and in that way hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. Car itself, very well looked after vehicle, lovely looking car as well, and it feels lovely as soon as you drive the car. It feels incredibly tight and original. Certainly doesn't feel like it's done anything like the mileage currently on the car, which is fairly typical of these Hondas. They could be double this mileage and still feel like it. Engine starts instantly and settles to completely smooth and even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all rating the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running at a third on the gauge, which is exactly where it's meant to be on any Honda car, whether it be petrol or diesel. And the car's been running for well over 2 hours now, because it's literally just been delivered to us. The engines are absolutely brilliant in every single respect as well. They're very smooth and quiet in operation. Certainly when you're up into sort of third, fourth, fifth, sixth gears, it's just very, very petrol-like in its sound, but also in the way it pulls as well. Because unlike some turbo diesels, which are basically just a little bit like a one-trick pony, they feel fast, but they tail off really quickly. They have a very short, narrow power band. These basically 1500 RPM there, put your foot down, and it just keeps pulling. It's a really, really lovely engine, and it stays sweet and quiet whilst it's doing it. Not that you'd always want to do that, but it's there if you need the performance. Wonderful, wonderful units. Cam chain driven, there's no cam belts on them to worry about, so that's all good. And they've got a reputation for reliability and longevity that's absolutely unmatched in its class. Very, very few manufacturers put engines together like Honda. In fact, none in the real world of mass production, of course. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect. Bike point's exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in the pedal travel. Okay. Gearbox, 6-speed gearbox, and I've said in many previous videos for CR-Vs, this is a gearbox that would happily go in one of Honda's sportier cars. It's brilliant. It's short and throw, snappy, precise, accurate, beautifully weighted, perfect, absolutely perfect. And it's showing no wear at all, by the way. Steering on the car, really lovely power steering setup. Track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, I'm going at the legal limit now, as quiet as it is, but there's no vibrations at all coming through the steering wheel. Brakes, opportune time, because we've got a sharp corner coming up. If I give them a good hard shove, good powerful brake pedal on the car, which is exactly what you want. Pulls up nice and straight as well. Chassis of the vehicle is, again, it just shows, because the CR-V is the best selling SUV in the world currently, and it's so obvious to see why, because what it gives you is a lovely car in every respect, but also gives you a really compliant, beautifully damped ride. But what it does, unlike so many SUVs, when you go through corners like these ones up here, it just minimal body roll, lovely body control as well. It's just a class act, and that's really important, particularly for people sitting in the back of the car who might not be concentrating on the road ahead. And so if you've got lots of swaying and wallowing and pitching about, obviously going to be very, very uncomfortable and quite nauseating, as you can probably imagine. And my kids suffer from it, and they never ever get car sick in these CR-Vs. And that's the truth, as it happens. Was some on test drive with the suspension and hitting bumps. I'm listening out for any kind of noises coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. And that's normally innocent stuff like drop links just chattering away or something like that, but there's nothing at all. It's absolutely perfect. Looking around inside the car, and given the fact that we've not cleaned it yet, it hardly needs touching. It is in absolutely beautiful condition in here, and also astonishingly well made. They are beautifully made cars. No squeaks, no rattles, no buzzers from the trim. Absolutely brilliant. And you've got a lovely dashboard to sit behind, and the EX top of the range, so it's laden with equipment, but it doesn't faze you in any way. It's so simple to operate, very, very user-friendly. Sat nav system, you can see they're working absolutely perfectly. You've got a dual zone climate control system to give you the option of different temperatures side to side, and air conditioning pumping out absolutely ice cold air. Switch gear is of the very, very highest order. They've got a lovely kind of rubbery click action to them, and I know because we're taking a few of these on part exchange with huge mileages, over 200,000 miles, and the switch gear still feels the same. They do these things absolutely superbly, Honda. And it's, I've always said with build quality, it's it's not how they seem to be built when they're brand new, which is when the motoring magazines mark. It's just a ridiculous system, really, where they sort of always put the Germans top. It's always the same things. They've got big thunky doors and squidgy plastics, so they must be well built. No, it's how they stand the test of time over many years of operation, and that's where the Japanese in particular, sort of Honda, Toyota, Lexus, are light years ahead of the Germans in that respect, actually. And I'm not saying that to be confrontational, it's just a fact, unfortunately. This is, by the way, a four-wheel drive car, albeit there's no four-wheel drive button on the car because it does it all for you. Basically, if Honda worked out that most people would be driving as I am today in perfectly good conditions, so there's no point having the car in four-wheel drive, because all that does is use more fuel, gets through your tyres more quickly, and puts a lot more mechanical stress through the vehicle. So basically it runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along. If as and when it needs to, if you pulled your way on a bit of snow or ice, or were towing across a sort of muddy field, it would automatically bring in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive smoothly, seamlessly. You'd hardly even notice it, other than the fact that you're actually just gripping and going and pulling away. And I've done lots of towing with CR-Vs and across some pretty muddy fields with our caravan, and I've never come close to getting stuck. The beauty of the system, of course, is its simplicity gives it its reliability, because we've been selling them, or slow down, goodness me, 30 miles an hour limit, sorry about that. It's they just don't go wrong. We've never put a spanner on one. Sorry, my family live in this village, and too many people drive too fast. It's very, very dangerous indeed, with motorcyclists and pedestrians about. That's by the by. More importantly, of course, is the fact that there's nothing to feed back on the car at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. As always, though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.